Hello, my dear listeners, and welcome back to the Kapil Gupta Career Pod Show, the place where we simplify careers, success strategies, and life skills. And today's episode is going to be interesting, a bit dramatic, and super informative because we're talking about a career that's all about debates, logic, and justice. Yes, we are talking about the career of a lawyer. Law is one of the most respected and well paid careers in the world. Whether you want to fight criminal cases, help businesses, work with human rights, or become a corporate advisor, there's a place for you in law. But here's the big question: is law the right career for you? How do you become a lawyer? What's the scope in India and abroad? And most importantly, how much money can you make? Don't worry, I've got you covered. In today's episode, we'll break down everything about the law profession, including career scope in India and abroad, the nature of a lawyer's job, education and skills required, salary prospects and future opportunities, and finally, how you can get started. So, whether you are in school, college, or just confused about your career, keep listening till the end because today we are going to answer all your questions about being a lawyer. Hello, all. I'm Kapil Gupta, founder of Study Abroad Academy. I'm on a mission to coach and mentor 100,000 high school students and help them realize the dream of studying in the best universities of the world and build happy careers for themselves. So, now, first things first. What does a lawyer actually do? Now, when most people think of lawyers, they imagine someone in a fancy suit dramatically pointing fingers in a courtroom saying, "Objection, Your Honor." Well, that's partly true, but there's so much more to it. At its core, being a lawyer means you are a problem solver. You help people navigate complex legal situations. Think of lawyers as translators who understand the complicated language of law and explain it to regular people like us. There are many different types of lawyers, and not all of them spend their time in courtrooms. So let me break it down for you. Number one, litigation lawyers. Now, these are the courtroom warriors you see in movies. They represent clients in court cases and argue before judges. They prepare legal documents, gather evidence, interview witnesses, and make those famous objections we all love. Number two, corporate lawyers. Now, these lawyers work for companies and help them with legal matters like contracts, mergers, acquisitions, and making sure the company follows all the rules. Now, they are the behind the scene legal experts who keep businesses running smoothly. And number three, criminal lawyers. Now, they either defend people accused of crimes or work as prosecutors who try to prove someone committed a crime. Now, this field is high pressure but can be super rewarding. Then, number four, family lawyers. Now, they handle sensitive issues like divorce, child custody, and adoption. They need both legal knowledge and people skills because they're dealing with the emotional situations. Then, number five, intellectual property lawyers. In today's digital world, these lawyers are in high demand. They protect creative works, inventions, and brand identities through patents, copyrights, and trademarks. And number six, environmental lawyers. For all my eco conscious listeners, these lawyers focus on issues related to environment, fighting for clean air, water, and sustainable practices. Then comes number seven, human rights lawyers. Now, these legal heroes work to protect basic human rights and fight against discrimination and injustice. And then comes number eight, that is tax lawyers. They help individuals and businesses navigate the super complex world of tax laws and regulations. So, now let's talk about the day to day life of a lawyer. Depending on their specialization, a typical day might include researching laws and previous court decisions, meeting with clients to understand their issues, then preparing legal documents like contracts or court filings, negotiating settlements, representing clients in court or meetings, giving legal advice, or staying updated with changes in laws and regulations. Now, one thing that's common across all type of lawyers is the amount of reading and writing involved. Now, if you hate reading, I'm sorry to break it to you, but this might not be your jam. Lawyers spend hours going through documents, case histories, and law books. Now, the work environment varies too. You could be working in a big corporate law firm with hundreds of lawyers, a small local practice, the government sector, a non profit organization, a company's legal department, or even running your own practice. Now, each setting has its own vibe, work culture, and expectations. Big law firms might offer higher salaries but expect you to work crazy hours, while government jobs might have better work life balance but pay less. The truth is, being a lawyer can be both exciting and exhausting at the same time. There will be days when you feel like a superhero fighting for justice, and other days when you're drowning in paperwork. But if you're passionate about creating change through law, the challenges are worth it. So, alright, let's talk about the big question. Is law a good career choice in India and abroad? So, let's talk about India first. In India, the legal profession is booming. With new laws, business regulations, and increasing awareness about rights, the demand for good lawyers is higher than ever. Gone are the days when being a lawyer only meant practicing in courts. Today, the opportunities are diverse and growing. India has over 1.4 billion people, which naturally creates a high demand for legal services. With economic growth and increased awareness of legal rights, this demand is only getting bigger. So, here are some exciting career paths for lawyers in India. Number one, law firms. India has seen a boom in both domestic and international law firms. Firms like Cyril Amarchand Mangaldas, AZB and Partners, and Khetan and Company offer excellent opportunities for fresh law graduates. Now, these firms handle corporate matters, mergers and acquisitions, intellectual property, and more. The number two, legal departments and corporations. Almost every major company in India now has an in house legal team. Companies like Reliance, Tata, Infosys, and even startups hire lawyers to handle their legal matters. Now, this is a great option if you want a more predictable schedule than what law firms offer. And then comes judiciary. For those dreaming of becoming a judge, India offers opportunities through judicial services examinations conducted by different states and Union Public Service Commission, of course, better known as UPSC. Then, number four, government legal services. You can work as a legal officer in various government departments or as a public prosecutor. The government is one of the largest employers of lawyers in India. And number five, legal process outsourcing, better known as LPO. Now, India has become a hub for LPOs, where legal work from other countries, especially the US and UK, is outsourced. This sector offers good starting salaries and exposure to international legal practices. Then comes NGOs and policy organizations. Now, if you're passionate about social change, many NGOs and policy think tanks hire lawyers to work on human rights, environmental issues, and policy reforms. And the number seven is the academia. With the growing number of law schools in India, there's a demand for law professors and researchers. Now, this is perfect if you enjoy teaching and academic research. Then comes number eight, independent practice. Many lawyers in India choose to set up their own practice after gaining some experience. Now, this gives you freedom but requires building your own client base. So, now let's look at the international scene. So, law as a career abroad. So, if you dream of working abroad, law can be an amazing option. Many Indian lawyers are working in countries like the United States, UK, Canada, and Singapore. However, you may need to pass additional exams like the bar exam in the United States or SQE in the UK to practice law there. So the global legal market is massive and offers exciting opportunities for the Indian lawyers. Number one, international law firms. So firms like Baker McKenzie, Clifford Chance, and Allen and Overy hire lawyers from around the world, including India. They often look for lawyers with expertise in specific areas like international arbitration or cross border transactions. The number two, United Nations and international organizations. Organizations like the UN, World Bank, and International Court of Justice offer opportunities for lawyers interested in international law, human rights, or development. The number three, foreign universities and research institutions. Many universities abroad hire legal experts for teaching and research positions. This is great if you enjoy academia and want global exposure. And number four, multinational corporations. Now, companies like Google, Apple, and Amazon have legal teams spread across different countries. They often hire lawyers with knowledge of multiple legal systems. The number five, international NGOs. Organizations like Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch employ lawyers to work on global issues. So, for Indian lawyers looking to work abroad, there are few things to consider. Number one, most countries require you to pass their bar exam or get additional qualifications to practice law there. And number two, countries like the UK, Singapore, and Australia have systems similar to India's, since we all inherited a British legal system, making the transition easier. The number three, the US, Canada, and European countries offer require a Master of Laws, that is the LLM degree, from the universities before you can take their bar exams. The number four, some roles in international organizations or companies may not require local bar admission if you're working on international matters or providing advice on Indian law. The good news is that an Indian law degree is respected internationally, and with some additional qualifications, you can build a global career. The demand for lawyers with cross border expertise is growing as businesses become more global. Now, if you can understand multiple legal systems and speak different languages, you'll have a competitive edge in the international market. Now, one exciting trend is the growing number of Indian lawyers working on issues like international arbitration, cross border mergers, and global climate change regulations. Now, these fields didn't even exist a few decades ago. So, whether you want to stay in India or explore opportunities abroad, a law degree opens doors to diverse and rewarding career paths. And now, let's dive deeper into what lawyers actually do in their day to day work life. Trust me, it's not all dramatic courtroom scenes like we see in the movies and TV shows. So, now let's bust a myth. Lawyers don't just fight cases in court. In fact, many lawyers never even step inside a courtroom. The real deal is both more mundane and more interesting at the same time. Lawyers also draft legal documents, research case laws, negotiate settlements, and advise clients. So, whether you love arguing, researching, or advising, there's a place for you in law. Now, for most lawyers, a typical day involves 1. Research and reading. Lawyers spend a significant amount of time researching cases, statutes, and legal precedents. They need to stay updated with the latest legal developments and understand how they might affect their clients. Now, this means lots of reading, law books, case reports, legal journals, and online databases. A junior lawyer might spend 4 to 5 hours daily just doing research during their early years. Now, here's a pro tip: if you don't enjoy reading and analysis, this might be challenging. Number 2, lawyers are essentially professional writers. They draft legal opinions, contracts and agreements, pleadings and petitions for court, legal memos, letters to clients and opposing counsel, research notes. Clear, precise writing is super important in law. One wrong word in a contract can completely change its meaning and lead to major problems. Then, number 3, client meetings. Lawyers regularly meet with clients to understand their legal issues, explain legal options, provide updates on ongoing cases, gather information and documents, and discuss strategy. Now, these meetings require strong communication skills as lawyers need to explain complex legal concepts in simple terms that clients can understand. The number 4, negotiations. Not all legal issues end up in court. Many are resolved through negotiations. Lawyers often negotiate settlements in disputes, terms in contracts, then plea bargains in criminal cases, and divorce and custody arrangements. Being a good negotiator means understanding both the legal aspects and the human psychology involved. Then, number 5, court appearances. For litigation lawyers, appearing in court is a regular part of work. Now, this involves presenting arguments, questioning witnesses, filing motions, responding to judges' questions, and managing procedural requirements. Now, court appearances require thorough preparation and the ability to think quickly on your feet. Then, number 6, administrative tasks. Like any profession, law comes with administrative responsibilities, managing case files, tracking billable hours, then responding to emails and calls, attending firm meetings, or even supervising junior staff or paralegals. Then, number 7, continuing education. Laws change constantly, and lawyers must keep learning throughout their careers. They attend continuing legal education programs, the legal conferences and seminars, and training sessions on new laws or regulations. Now, let's talk about the work environment. So, the working environment for lawyers vary greatly depending on where they work. Now, let's begin with the law firms. Large firms called big law in the industry typically have fancy offices, good resources, and high salaries, but also demand long working hours, sometimes 60 to 80 hours per week. Then mid-sized firms offer a balance between resources and pressure, and small firms or solo practices might have more flexible hours but require lawyers to handle more diverse tasks, including running the business. The number 2, corporate legal departments. In house lawyers generally have more regular hours than those in law firms. They focus deeply on one client, their company, rather than juggling multiple clients. The work is often more business oriented and preventive rather than dispute focused. The number 3, government. Government lawyers typically enjoy better work life balance and job security. They might work on policy issues or represent the government in court. The pace can be slower than private practice, but the work often has broader public impact. Then coming to number four, non profit organizations. Lawyers and NGOs often work on cause based issues like human rights, environmental protection, or helping underserved communities. The pay is typically lower, but the work can be personally fulfilling. Resources might be limited compared to corporate settings. Let's talk about the emotional aspect, something that doesn't get discussed enough in the emotional side of legal work. Number one, lawyers often deal with people going through difficult times, whether it's a divorce, criminal charges, business disputes, or personal injuries. The number two, the responsibility can be heavy. Your advice and actions directly impact your clients' lives, businesses, and futures. Then the adversarial nature of some legal work can be stressful. Not everyone enjoys conflict, even if it's professional rather than personal. And deadlines in law are strict and non negotiable. Missing a filing deadline can have serious consequences for a case. That said, many lawyers find their work incredibly rewarding. Now, there's something powerful about helping someone navigate a complex legal situation or standing up for someone who can't stand up for themselves. As one lawyer told me, some days I feel I'm drowning in paperwork, but then I get a call from a client whose life changed because of work, and it makes everything worth it. So, the nature of legal work can be challenging, but it's also intellectually stimulating and gives you the chance to make a real difference in people's lives. So, whether you're helping a startup navigate regulations, defending someone's rights, or creating policies that affect entire communities, law offers meaningful work for those willing to put in the effort. So, now let's talk about how to actually become a lawyer. What skills do you need? What education should you pursue? And which are the best places to study law? So let's break it down. So before we dive into the formal qualifications, let's talk about the skills that make a good lawyer. So if you have these, you might be lawyer material. 1. Analytical thinking. Lawyers need to analyze complex situations, identify relevant legal issues, and develop solutions. So you'll need to look at problems from multiple angles and think critically about them. The number two, research skills. The ability to find relevant information quickly and efficiently is crucial. You'll spend lots of time researching laws, cases, and legal principles. The number three, communication skills. This includes both written communication, because clear, concise writing for contracts, briefs, and other legal documents. Verbal communication, so articulating arguments persuasively, explaining complex concepts simply, and listening actively to clients and colleagues. Then, number four, attention to detail. Small details matter in law. One misplaced comma in a contract can change its entire meaning. Then, problem solving ability. Clients come to lawyers with problems that need solutions. So, creative problem solving skills help you find the best path forward. The number six, time management. Lawyers often juggle multiple cases with strict deadlines. Being organized and managing your time effectively is essential. And number seven, emotional intelligence. Understanding people's motivations, managing difficult personalities, and showing empathy to clients in tough situations are all important skills. And number eight, ethical judgment. Lawyers face ethical dilemmas regularly. Strong moral compass and ethical reasoning are must haves. The number 9, perseverance. Legal matters can take time to resolve. So the ability to stay focused and persistent despite setbacks is crucial. And then number 10, adaptability. Laws change, technology evolves, and clients' need vary. So being able to adapt to new situations is increasingly important in today's legal landscape. So the good news is that many of these skills can be developed over time. Law school helps with some of them, but others come through practice and experience. So now let's talk about the formal education path to becoming a lawyer in India. Number 1, that is after 10 plus 2. So you have two main options. 5 years integrated BA LLB program, now that's the most common one. Then 3-year LLB program if you already have a bachelor's degree in any subject. Then number 2, entrance exams. So to get into good law schools, you need to clear them. The main ones are CLAT, that is Common Law Admission Test for National Law Universities, then IELT, that is All India Law Entrance Test for National Law University, Delhi, and then LSAT, Law School Admission Test for private universities like Jindal Global Law School, and some universities have their own entrance exams. So once admitted, you'll study subjects like constitutional law, contract law, criminal law, civil procedure, property law, corporate law, international law, intellectual property, or even environmental law. So many law schools also offer specialized courses and practical training through moot courts, that are simulated court proceedings, and legal aid clinics and internships. The number 4, bar council registration. After graduating with your law degree, you need to pass the All India Bar examination conducted by the Bar Council of India to get a license to practice law in India. And if you want further education or specialization, many lawyers choose to specialize by pursuing an LLM, that is Masters of Law in a specific area, or getting certificates in specialized fields, or gaining experience through focused internships and jobs. So now you must be wondering which can be the top law schools. So here are some of the best places to study law in India. National Law Universities. National Law School of India University, NLSIU Bangalore, often considered the top law school in India. The National Law University Delhi, NLU Delhi. Nalsa University of Law, Hyderabad. Then West Bengal National University of Juridical Sciences, Kolkata. The National Law Institute University, Bhopal. Now there are other top law schools as well, that is Faculty of Law in Delhi University, or Government Law College, Mumbai, then ILS Law College, Pune, Symbiosis Law School, Pune, then OP Jindal Global University, Sonipat, Faculty of Law, Banaras Hindu University, that is BHU, and School of Law, Christ University, Bangalore. And for those considering studying law abroad, here are some top options. For United States, Harvard Law School, Yale Law School, Stanford Law School, Columbia Law School, University of Chicago Law School. So here's a note. To practice law in US, you typically need a Juris Doctor degree, which is a 3-year program after completing undergraduate studies. So however, many Indian lawyers go for an LLM, that is a 1-year program, and then take the bar exam in states like New York or California. Then if we talk about United Kingdom, University of Oxford, University of Cambridge, the London School of Economics, LSE, then University College London, that is UCL, and King's College London. The UK system is more compatible with India's, since both follow the common law tradition. So many Indian students pursue an LLB or LLM in the UK. Then let's talk about Australia, University of Melbourne, University of Sydney, Australian National University, or University of New South Wales, then Monash University. And let's talk about Singapore, National University of Singapore, and Singapore Management University. And talking about Canada, University of Toronto, McGill University, or University of British Columbia, or York University, or University of Montreal. The path to becoming a lawyer is challenging but structured. With dedication and the right preparation, it's definitely achievable. And remember, while prestigious universities provide excellent opportunities, many successful lawyers have come from less renowned institutions. Let's talk money. I know this is the part many of you have been waiting for. How much can you actually earn as a lawyer? Now, the short answer is it varies widely. And the long answer, let's dive in. Let's talk about India first. So, in India, a lawyer's earnings depend on several factors: experience level, type of practice, location, employer, specialization, and individual skills and reputation. So, let me break down the typical salary ranges for different career stages and settings. Let's talk about the fresh law graduates. So, Tier 1 National Law University graduates at top law firms, 12 to 25 lakhs per annum. Then other good law school graduates at mid-tier firms, 5 to 12 lakhs per annum. Then average law college graduates, 3 to 5 lakhs per annum. And government legal roles at the entry level is 3 to 6 lakhs per annum. And legal startups and LPOs are around 4 to 8 lakhs per annum. Now, with 3 to 5 years experience, a lawyer working in top law firms can get 20 to 40 lakhs per annum. Then mid-tier firms, that is 10 to 20 lakhs per annum. And then an in-house counsel at large corporations, 15 to 25 lakhs per annum. Then government legal roles, 6 to 10 lakhs per annum. Then independent practice, that varies widely, is around 5 to 15 lakhs per annum. Now let's talk about lawyers with 10 plus years experience. Now, if they're partners at top law firms, 1 CR to several crores per annum. Then senior in-house counsel, general counsel, 50 lakhs to 1.5 CR per annum. Then established independent practitioners can range from 30 lakhs to several crores. Then judges, and let's talk about the high court ones, 2.25 lakhs per month plus benefits. And senior government legal officers, 15 to 25 lakhs per annum. Now, let's talk about the litigation lawyers. It's important to note that litigation lawyers, especially those in independent practice, typically have irregular income patterns in their early years. It takes time to build a client base, but established litigators can earn really very well. A junior lawyer might start by earning 20 to 40,000 per month, working under a senior advocate. But with experience and reputation, successful litigators can earn several lakhs per case. Then let's talk about the highest paying specialization in India. Their corporate law, especially mergers and acquisitions, their intellectual property, then international arbitration, tax law, and banking and finance. And then if we talk about salaries around the world, let's look at what lawyers can earn in different countries. Talking about United States, the US generally offers the highest lawyer salaries globally, but also has high competition and work pressure. Entry level at large law firms, big law, it's around $190,000 to $215,000 per year. That is approximately 1.5 to 1.7 CR. Then mid-level associates, that is with the experience of 5 to 7 years, it's around $250,000 to $350,000 per year, approximately 2 to 2.8 CR. Then partners at prestigious firms, around $1 million to several million dollars annually. Then public sector government lawyers, $50,000 to $120,000, that is approximately 40 to 95 lakhs. Then in-house counsel, so around $120,000 to $300,000, and that is approximately 95 lakhs to 2.4 CR. Then let's talk about UK. Newly qualified solicitors at top London firms can earn around £100,000 to £150,000. Then mid level associates can earn around £150,000 to £200,000. And partners, then £200,000 to over £1 million. And regional firms outside London pay significantly less. But when looking at these figures, keep a few things in mind. Work hours. Higher salaries often come with longer working hours. Many top paying law firms expect 60 to 80 hours per week, which impact work life balance. Then, second, cost of living. Cities with the highest lawyer salaries, there's New York, London, Singapore, also have extremely high living costs. A lower salary in a more affordable location might provide a better quality of life. The number three, job security. Government legal jobs may pay less, but typically offer better job security and benefits than private practice. The number four, growth potential. Some positions offer rapid salary growth. In large US law firms, for example, salaries typically increase by $10,000 to $15,000 each year for the first several years. And then there can be additional benefits, like many legal employers often such benefits beyond base salary, including performance bonuses, health insurance, retirement plans, paid leave, then continuing education support, and even relocation assistance. So it's worth noting that studies consistently show that the highest paid lawyers aren't necessarily the most satisfied with their careers. Many lawyers in public interest roles or smaller practices report greater job satisfaction despite earning less. And now, let me share some alternative revenue streams which are beyond your salary. So many successful lawyers create such additional income through writing and publishing legal books, articles, and commentaries. Then teaching, now that's part time lecturing at law schools. Then consulting, that is providing specialized advice to businesses. Then speaking engagements at conferences and events. Then online courses and tutorials, that is creating legal education content. Then legal tech ventures, developing or investing in legal technology. So the legal profession offers significant financial rewards, especially as you gain experience and build your reputation. So while starting salaries can vary widely, the long term earning potential is substantial in most legal careers. So remember, though, that building a successful legal career takes time. The first few years are often challenging, but persistence tends to pay off both professionally and financially. So, all right, now let's talk about where the legal profession is headed. Like every field, law is evolving rapidly. And if you're considering this career, you should know what the future might look like. So, that is digital transformation in law. So, the legal industry was traditionally slow to adapt new technologies, but that's changing fast. Number one, legal tech revolution. We are seeing an explosion of legal technology tools that are changing how lawyers work. AI powered legal research platforms like Kira, Ross, and Case Text that can analyze thousands of documents in minutes. Then contract analysis software that can review and flag issues in legal documents. Then automated document assembly systems that create legal documents based on templates. Then e-discovery tools that help sort through massive amounts of electronic evidence. Then number two, virtual law practices. The pandemic accelerated the shift to remote legal work. Many courts now allow virtual hearings, and client meetings increasingly happen over video calls. This means more flexibility in where lawyers can work from and reduced overhead costs for law firms. then greater accessibility for clients who might struggle to physically visit offices. Then, number three, blockchain and smart contracts. Blockchain technology is creating new opportunities and challenges. Smart contracts that automatically execute when certain conditions are met. Blockchain based property registries and intellectual property systems. The new legal questions around cryptocurrency and digital assets. So these technologies are creating demand for lawyers who understand both law and technology. And that's a wrap. We just decoded everything about a career in law. Throughout the series, we've examined how the legal profession is evolving from its traditional roots toward a more dynamic, inclusive, and technologically enabled future. Now, while change brings challenges, it also creates unprecedented opportunities for those willing to adapt. So, the attorneys who will thrive in this new landscape will be those who maintain their core commitments to justice, ethics, and client advocacy while embracing new tools, business models, and collaboration approaches. They'll balance technological proficiency with the human judgment and empathy that remain the heart of excellent legal representation. Legal practice has always been about helping people navigate complex systems and solve difficult problems. That fundamental purpose remains constant even as its expression evolves. But staying grounded in this core mission while embracing change, the legal profession can become more accessible, effective, and fulfilling for both practitioners and those they serve. So, if you found value in our exploration of the legal profession's evolution, I encourage you to take these three specific actions. First, assess your own practice or legal career with fresh eyes. Identify one area, whether technology adoption, service delivery, or wellness, where intentional change could create significant benefits. Small shifts, consistently applied, lead to transformative results. Second, connect with colleagues who are experimenting with new approaches. Share experiences, learn from each other's successes and failures, and build a supportive community of forward thinking legal professionals. No one has all the powers, but together we can navigate this changing landscape more effectively. Finally, if you found this episode helpful, share it with your friends and family. Follow the Kapil Gupta Career Pod Show for more career insights. Got questions? Connect with me. Link is in the description. The future of law is being written now by practitioners like you who care deeply about both tradition and progress. So thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration and transformation. Until next time, keep thinking boldly about what legal practice can become.